So,
how's it going?
it's going okay.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Still just okay?
No, it's better than okay today. I was
good.
got a restful sleep and stuff, which is
good.
unusual.
Yeah.
It's not common for that to happen. No. No.
That's kind of special.
Yeah, it's special. It's definitely special. It's almost like a drug. Like you wake up like you're on a drug, but the drug is just
You got sleep.
you slept good.
Yeah.
It's like you have like an edge over what you usually are or your
Makes
usual
sense.
mind
Yeah.
and stuff. It's weird
Yeah.
how important sleep is.
Little extra boost.
Yeah, it's so fucking important. Sleeping good.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You don't really know. I mean, you're just fucking miserable until, because my sleep has been awful since I got back from Austin.
Okay, yeah.
So my baseline life experience has just been feeling like shit. And then you just get used to feeling like shit. And then you forget that there is a life with that.
There's more.
Yeah, there's more to life.
Right.
You forget.
Than just feeling like shit.
Yeah. And then you wake up after a restful night's sleep and you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Life is worth doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool.
Feels way better.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I felt like I got really good sleep to where like I couldn't take a nap the next day, where like I didn't need a nap because I can always take a nap.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just always sleep deprived for no reason. I don't like work, so I don't have to get up early or anything, but I just don't get enough REM sleep, I guess.
Yeah, people that just sleep like babies and stuff, I've always kind of envied it.
Yeah,
because it's
literally.
like you don't fucking know what you have.
Yeah.
And stuff. And for me to not have horrible sleep, I have to live an extremely disciplined life. Exercise, meditation before sleep, wind down periods.
Really work for it.
Yeah, I have to do so much to have what some people just have.
Yeah, no, my boyfriend literally will be talking 2 seconds later, passed out. I don't believe it. Just like completely gone the next second. He's
lucky.
Sleep deprived, but I mean,
he is sleep deprived.
Yeah, because he does work. He doesn't sleep enough.
He doesn't go to bed
Yeah, he goes to bed late and then wakes up early.
Yeah.
But the minute he falls asleep, or the minute he wants to sleep, he can fall right asleep like within seconds. God. It's insane.
Yeah.
I'm like, weren't you just having a full conversation with me and now you're just passed out? It takes me like several minutes to fall asleep.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
I had one friend, I was like extremely sleep deprived for a long period of time, like having nightmares too. Like every time that I did get REM sleep, it was nightmares.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like,
that's horrible.
Yeah, I was getting this reoccurring dream of me standing on a cliff with someone sitting off the edge of it and like trying to convince him that life is worth it.
Like,
and then
him to live?
Yeah, convince him to live, and he like stand up and look at me blankly, like none of my words are registering, and just walk off the cliff. Oh. That shit kept happening to me.
That's horrible.
Like several times, like through
That's
this.
Awful. Was it the same person?
It's the same person. I don't even know who it is. He's
just
this
a
random fucking person that my head created or whatever. They say that all the people in your dreams you've seen before, you don't actually generate them, but
right.
I mean whatever. But my friend, I would tell him, I'm like, man, I'm just like I was always fucked up. I always felt terrible and shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was not a good person to be around.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like
that sucks. I mean, yeah, that's gonna make you depressed over a long period of time.
And I told him, I'm like, I can't sleep, man. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, just sleep, bro. Like, just sleep.
Just go to bed.
Yeah, people that have it don't really understand.
Right.
You know?
People who can just sleep.
Yeah.
With no issue.
It's fucked up.
How did they get so lucky?
I don't know.
How does one get that? How do you do that?
I don't fucking know. I start somewhere in childhood.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It could be a genetic strand and stuff, maybe as well.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I've been having not so much a reoccurring dream, but like the same dream pretty much every night.
It's
been like every night. It's my boyfriend is always in my dream. I mean, we are together all the time, but it's that he stops talking to me and that he completely just ghosts me. and then he like won't talk to me, and I'm like,
Like it moves somewhere else because you guys live together, or is that not?
yeah, I guess in the dream we don't really like live together. I guess
Okay.
we're just like together, and so I guess yeah, I'm still like at home in this plot or whatever, but yeah, he like is always in one of them. I walked in on him like getting with another girl, like in one of the
Oh,
dreams, and I was
uh,
like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, I want to be done. And I was like, what?
this is
Like,
how you're telling me?
yeah, literally.
That's fucked up that like your insecurities and shit can like play out through your dreams, and
Yeah.
you could like literally live it,
It's horrible.
like live in the world that you create in your day.
Yeah. It's been like every night, literally.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a dream that you thought you died and you were in the afterlife? Like the dream was the afterlife and you'll never have your body again?
No, I've only had dreams where I've been like shot, but every time I die in a dream, like I wake up. So I've never like had a dream as in like I was dead or anything like that.
Yeah, I had this fucking dream once that I was like, something happened and in my dream and I died and the ground turned into a vortex, like a fucking like into another dimension, like a portal into another dimension.
Yeah.
And like I just like fell through it, and where I ended up was this like kind of hellish, like sensory deprived, like all white walls, and there was like the devil playing the piano.
Oh my God. And I got a glimpse of hell.
Yeah, it was just there's no color,
the
no, it was just all white walls, and then there's like
Yeah.
the devil playing piano, and like I sat next to the devil and was just like, fuck, I'm never gonna have my body again. Like that's it. And
Like you thought
now
you were
it's
dead?
yeah, that I'm dead, and I'm never like whatever my life experience was, it's gone.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's gone.
Oh
Like
my
it
God.
happened, and then
Right.
now it's done, and now I have to go do something else.
That's crazy.
And I was just sitting like pissed off or like upset, and like the devil's playing the fucking piano. And then I woke up, and when I woke up I was like, fuck, like I have it. I still have my body.
What?
And then I was like, okay, I got to get down that fucking piano melody. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I couldn't remember it.
Wow.
I was gonna try to turn that fucking melody that the devil was playing into a beat.
The devil.
Yeah, but
That's so crazy.
I was unsuccessful.
You like convinced you were dead.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I fully thought that I was dead.
That's so weird.
And then once you have your body again, after you think that you will never have it again, it's fucking incredible feeling.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That really changes my perspective. I mean, I'm always like, I don't care if I die. That's
You don't
horrible,
care
but-
until you are dead, and you're like, fuck, I'll never have that body
Right.
again, or that everything that's tied to that experience,
And it's
your
over.
friends, your mother, it's done.
Right.
You know, it's a page to turn.
Yeah, that would totally change my perspective. I mean, kind of, thinking about it, it's like, damn, you don't realize what you have.
No.
Until, yeah.
Yeah, until your fucking head's down next to the devil playing the piano,
Right,
and
the
you're like,
devil.
fuck, that shit's all done. Like,
Gone.
it's gone.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. You tried to remember.
I try to remember
Something
the melody, yeah.
That's interesting. Also, since I've been having these dreams, every morning I wake up with a different song, like playing, stuck in my head. Like
Ones that you listen to?
that's the thing. They're random songs. A lot of them I haven't listened to in like years.
Oh, really?
Like random. I'm like, I haven't thought about this song in like 10 years, but it's like stuck in my head when I wake up in the morning. So weird. I
Yeah.
wonder where that comes from.
I don't know, man.
Music playing in our heads.
Yeah, music that you haven't listened to in years, just
Yeah.
playing, and then you could play it too, usually perfect in your head with like all the melodies and all
Yeah.
the lyrics and stuff, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's so much,
Yeah.
to recreate and
Yes.
stuff. Dreams are fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really are. It's like, what the fuck?
Literally, where are we going?
What the fuck? And I know Pablo, my little mutt Chihuahua puppy, he has dreams too, because he'll start to fucking like
Yeah.
move his legs and like jolt and stuff, and he's
Like-
probably running away from tigers or whatever's happening in his,
Yeah.
because he's dreaming. So I don't know, it's fascinating.
Yeah, I've heard my dogs like bark and they're sleep like whoop,
Yeah.
Like,
Like what
yep.
are they going through right now? You know what I
Right.
mean?
What are they thinking about? What nightmares do they have?
Yeah, I would love to know what a nightmare Pablo had. Like what a
Yeah.
Pablo nightmare looks like. I would love it. I'd pay a lot of money
Yeah.
to know that.
Yeah. I can imagine Mandy's like someone breaking into the house.
Yeah, something like that.
Like going crazy. She's like a mama bear.
She is.
She's
Yeah,
so
she holds
funny.
shit down for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. But
Dog's a man's best friend. I don't know what I'd do without my puppies.
Pablo, my little mutt chihuahuas, he's been pretty cool. Like when I first moved in, it like felt really weird because I've always had roommates.
Oh, okay.
I've always lived with people. I've never lived completely alone.
Mm-hmm.
So like the first day I moved into this house, I was like sleeping on a mattress, like full of there's like plastic bags all over the room, and I'm sleeping on a mattress that's on the floor.
Yeah.
And then like into an empty space, and it was just like fucking like strange. Like the feeling wasn't good.
Yeah.
So I got the puppy, and that shit doesn't happen anymore. It was happening a lot. Like it was depressing. And then I got this little fucking mutt chihuahua that eats fucking rocks and
pisses on the floor.
And now I don't have to feel that way anymore.
Right. I can feel okay again.
Yeah, I feel all right again.
Yeah.
Everything makes sense now.
Yeah. No, when I spend too much time alone,
It's so bad for you.
yeah, I
Holy shit.
dissociate.
Yeah.
I like depersonalize, and I go a little crazy. I mean, I grew up with a big family, so
Right.
always had people around and dogs also in the house. But yeah, like when I'm alone too long,
Oof.
I'm just like in my own head. I dissociate, and then I don't even know what's going
Just
on.
eat yourself up.
Yeah.
You're just in your head fucking eating yourself up and stuff, just putting your focus on fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Just like creating a terrible life experience.
Right. In my own head.
Yeah. Like you're doing it to yourself, like nothing's
Yeah.
actually happening.
Right. Right. I mean, you're literally there sitting
not
there. Nothing's happening.
You're not going through anything really.
Right.
You're just there, like, you know, and then your mind just gives you like where you take your mind, you end up
Like fucking yourself over.
having a shitty life, I guess, in that moment,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
You're sitting there giving yourself a shitty life
Yeah. Literally.
by choice.
You're choosing to do it. Literally. That's horrible.
I know, it's fucking terrible. Like
It's a vicious cycle.
it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And in a way it's a way to escape too. It's like escapism, almost like a drug that when you get into super negative, because I've like had a lot of trouble with that shit like earlier in my life.
Yeah.
I wanted to fucking die. Like there were some points in my life where I was like, I wanted to die so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Like I would do almost anything if I had like a real means to like a high percentage rate suicide
Yeah.
method, like a gun or something.
Right.
I would have fucking done it.
Yeah.
But there's just when it was available to me for me to kill myself, I didn't like the odds of surviving. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like, fuck it.
Right.
I'm gonna die anyways in the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
And this is going by fast.
Yeah.
I'm almost 30.
Right.
You're still a teenager, but this shit goes fast.
Yeah.
Because your perception, conception or whatever of time, it almost seems like an illusion.
Yeah.
Because you just wake up one day, you go to the mirror and you're 30 without any real sense of the time lapse. You know what I'm talking about?
Where'd the time go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just wake up and you are this, and then so much of your life fades away or just disappears in memory.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
One
still
day.
pretty young, but like I've even had a little bit of that. I'm like, how am I already like my last teenage year?
Yeah, I'm an adult now.
Yeah, literally have to be responsible for myself, take care of myself, do adult shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I never imagined myself here where I am now when I was like a kid. Like when I was a kid, I imagined myself way different, just like in a way different place. So it's just like weird.
Yeah,
Look
that's
back
another
on.
thing that I'm realizing too. I'll build like expectations or build things in my mind of how something's going to be, or what something's going to look like.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go on a trip to see a friend I haven't seen in 10 years, and I'm playing out scenarios and like things that might happen, or like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Or with a girl or a date, you like picture something,
Yeah.
like scenarios, conversations, and but they never happen.
Right.
Ever.
Mm-hmm.
So like you're just in your head kind of building this thing that will never happen. And then a lot of times if you make it too positive, you'll go into it and then it'll be shitty and stuff. But
yeah, you get let down.
it never plays out the way you think it is in your head.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Come up with these fake scenarios.
Yeah, it's such bullshit.
Yeah.
I've made a conscious effort lately to not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I may have done that last night. Sometimes I do it to help myself fall asleep.
What do you do?
Just like imagining fake scenarios, like people I want to confront, or like if something's gonna come up, like how's it gonna go, or if this happened, how would I react?
Yeah,
Just
it's all such
shit.
bullshit.
Yeah, literal.
Because it never plays out ever.
Yeah, you're writing your own script for nothing.
Yeah, nothing. You're just wasting your fucking time.
Yeah.
As they say, spinning your wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you can learn to go into everything without any expectations, I feel like you're better off in your life. Like you're gonna have a better go of it.
Yeah.
If you can just wipe that shit of creating these stupid scenarios in your head.
Yeah.
And go into the shit always like with an empty mind.
Right.
And it's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just roll with the punches.
Roll with the punches, yeah. And this is more of a, I don't know, it's just, it fucks up your experience when you had built something in your head and then you're doing it and it's not what you thought it was.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. And you get let down.
Yeah, and you're sitting there let down, but why are you let down? Because you're doing some bullshit in your head.
Built it up in your head.
Right.
Yeah. I've
just
had
wasting
so many like relationship problems just because, well, I have this thing where like I act like a child sometimes. I have like trauma, who doesn't, but I get triggered by certain things and I act like a child without realizing it. There have been times where like my boyfriend, you know, in the nicest way possible, he's like, you're acting like a child right now. And I'm literally pouting on the couch and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. And I have to like think, I'm like, where is this coming from? You know, like, why am I doing this? And I get like really butthurt. Like my feelings just like get hurt.
Easy?
Yeah. Yeah. And so I get in my own head, but literally within like a few minutes, I'm over it. Like I don't care anymore. But it's in the moment, it feels like so strong. It's literally like, it's gotta be, you know, some trauma or something that's triggering me, that's like coming up. How like in the field of, I don't know what you call it, like therapy.
Neurology? Are you talking about?
Like the therapy that I do, they kind of tell me that it would be like one of my inner children, you know, coming out. So like could be one of my children that's like trying to protect me or who doesn't know how to handle things.
So in regression therapy, they believe that there's multiple children inside of you, kind of like pushing buttons and pulling levers and stuff.
Yeah, basically, and affecting your life right
How many
now.
children? Is it there's no number?
Yeah, I mean, there's like specific, you know, there's a book where they talk about the developmental stages and there are like 4 or 5, you know, stages. But yeah, pretty much any child at any time, you know, because I have some that I probably don't even know about yet that I haven't got to. But I have like a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, or like 9, 10, and then like 12, 13, then 15, 16. So it kind of just depends on like what you went through. And yeah.
What's the history of regression therapy? Do you know where it came from? Who kind of spearheaded it, and when did it start, or anything like that?
The method that I use started with my therapist. He got what he says kind of like revelation or like inspired to kind of start doing work like this. But actually,
so he's one of the originators, the person that
I would say, because he actually read a book that I'm reading. It's called The Homecoming. I forget who it's by. It's about like your inner children and stuff. And it kind of also teaches like regression therapy. It has you breathe and then kind of think about going back in time and like connecting to your inner children.
Okay,
So it's very similar.
You know how old the book is? Do you know
Um,
when the book was around?
within the last like maybe 80s or 90s.
80s or 90s, so
possibly
maybe
even
30 years,
2000s, yeah.
40 years ago, this idea has been floating around, sort of.
Yeah.
And then he took it on and is kind of creating a system out of the idea that people have multiple children inside of them that are affecting their life.
Yeah, that were created like from trauma, like childhood trauma.
So the childhood trauma occurs, and then that stays in your consciousness. Like that child in that moment goes into your consciousness and stays there. Yeah. Essentially.
Yeah.
And then later on in life affects you in ways is like kind of fucking, you know.
Right. When like you come across an experience that like triggers, you know, something. It could be a trigger, something that reminds you of, or reminds the child of that trauma, and they're gonna, you know, start causing problems. And that's when people develop habits to cope, because they're starting to feel some kind of way and they don't know where it's coming from. But like the child that's within them is like being triggered, and they start causing problems, stuff like that. But yeah, this therapist that I have, he recommended this book to me. So he's obviously read it, and then he started doing the therapy where you go back and relive the trauma. So the idea of like the trauma therapy and healing your inner children was like already there, but he took it to like the next step, and he started like taking people through the trauma again to completely get them over.
He created like a meditation or like a methodology to deal with that.
Yeah.
The children inside of you.
Yeah. And to kind of,
this is very interesting.
This
is like a new practice.
Yeah. It started with him, and then he taught 2 women that I've worked with, and then they created a class. And since then there's probably like 10 maybe new practitioners. So there's probably like a dozen of us right now who are doing it.
So there isn't like an in-depth history, or kind of, it's just sort of a guy had an idea, or a guy felt a way or whatever. I don't know how to word it.
Yeah.
And then with the past and the childhood trauma stuff and how it affects you, and then who your therapist is, Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne Johnson.
Wayne didn't take that idea, but he was inspired by something godly, essentially, like type of God thing.
Spiritual, and then after reading the book and everything.
After reading the book, he got that spiritual, or that God, the God thing occurred.
Yeah.
Okay, and then he takes the idea and then basically creates a system.
Yeah, he didn't really do it. I mean, he has like ADHD and stuff. He's not very capable of teaching a class. So he like taught a couple other people how to do it, and they created a certification class. These 2 women.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So this is crazy. This is you're maybe on the cusp of something new.
Yeah.
That could be huge. You know, look at it in a capitalistic way.
Yeah,
like,
my mom kind of likes to think about it like that. She's like, you girls are going to do like big things for, you know, psychology and stuff like that. Because I've already known it's so fucked up. That's why I didn't go to college to study psychology. So I went like,
why? Because the corporate interest in what? Like, you think that?
Yeah, I mean, I've also talked with Wayne about it, and he's gone to school and everything, and he's like, you can go to learn all the terminology, all the, you know, disorders and symptoms and how to diagnose whatever, but he's like, this is the way to real healing.
That's exactly how I've always felt. Like, you go to the college and you learn the words, essentially. You sit down, you get the information,
how to diagnose,
and you can but like the skill or the craft comes from doing the craft.
Right.
Always. With music, it's like I could have went and spent a bunch of fucking money to sit in a desk to understand shit theoretically and logically.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that, and I just went in and started making music and getting the program and just doing the fucking music and learning it by doing it. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah. And that's the way to fucking do it, really.
Yeah.
Because your growth is going to be way bigger than just sitting in a fucking desk understanding information and then putting it on paper.
Right.
Like, what the fuck are you really doing?
Tests, getting tested,
Yeah.
to get a degree, whatever. Yeah. So he was like explaining to me like this is real healing because, you know, the person does the healing themselves. You're just guiding them through it. So like they relive everything. They're the ones who are getting personal revelation, stuff like that. You're just taking them through it. So it's really about everyone has the power to heal themselves within themselves. It's just, you know, a matter of bringing it out and actually doing it. But I've seen like the idea of your inner child and trauma, stuff like that, you know, it's been kind of an idea for a while, but the first time I heard of it like on paper was the book. But it would be interesting to see like I know one of the teachers of the class, she's read a lot of books on trauma, so she would probably know like
I'd love to get her
more
on.
where it originated. Yeah.
Oh man, if I could get her on the podcast, that'd be fucking sick.
She has a lot of information.
Oh man, yeah. I would love that.
She has a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, but that's interesting. The segment's almost over at 26 minutes. But yeah, I would, into the next segment, talk to you about the real immediate benefits of this and what you have felt because you do this.
Yeah.
How it's benefited you essentially.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I've seen it in other people too.
So.
About more therapy.
Yeah. Immediate benefits of regression therapy.
When I did like my first couple of sessions, I just started making like tons of connections. I was just like, oh my gosh, and this is why I do this, and this is why I do this. And like, you know, the first couple of like traumas I went through, it depends on like your practitioner or like who your therapist is, but they can kind of go about it different ways. So with my therapist, I started with like just going through the traumas. So he explained it like you have like dominoes that are traumas and they all kind of collapse into your life right now.
Into the moment.
Right. And so if you kind of go back and get rid of some of those dominoes or some of those traumas and heal them, they're less likely to collapse into your life right now, which would be like the triggers and your, you know, children coming back up and these habits and everything. So I went through my first traumas that came up were some of the biggest ones in my life, like my suicide attempt, when my dog died, a lot of things I went through when I was in 5th grade. I still have some like work to do on that because I don't know if it's from religious trauma or my OCD, my ADHD, but I've worked a lot with like my 9-year-old inner child and like that time, but I still even have more to work on. But yeah, I had just been making connections. So I went back through healing these traumas, and it's really, you know, awakening at first. It's really eye-opening. You're like, oh my gosh, like I was still, you know, holding on to these things for so long. And it feels like these things are lifting off of you. And then you start making more connections. Like since I was doing these therapy sessions, my therapist would tell me to like go through and talk to these children, like when I go home at night. And at the end of the night, like talk to them again, you know, because in the therapy session, you'll go through, relive the trauma, and then reconnect with that child and teach them how to go through it.
And you go into a hypnotic state, you connect to the child, and the child speaks back to you. And sometimes if the event is traumatic enough, it could move you to tears.
Yeah.
And it's like becomes very real,
right?
In a way,
Because the child is kind of like giving you their emotions that they're feeling in that moment. They're kind of putting it on you. And so you as the adult can deal with it now because your child obviously couldn't. That's why it became trauma.
And then that child kind of gets removed. Like you're kind of
In a
curing
way.
yourself of that child fucking with your life.
In a way, yeah.
Once you connect to it.
Yeah. This Julie, the median therapist that I know, she explains it as like, you know, your children will always be a part of you, but we need to let them go, you know, so that they're not staying with us and coming out at certain times. So we heal them so that they can be let free, basically. Mm-hmm. They could still, you know, be with us. She talks about them like being above you, watching over you and stuff, but they're essentially free.
Okay.
You let them go.
So how do you feel you've improved on average in going through life at the beginning of when you started doing this and where you're at right now?
Honestly, I was for a number of reasons, I was a mess when I first started.
About 2 years ago?
Where 2021. So I'd say it's almost been a year. Almost been a year since I've been seeing the current therapist that I'm seeing. I had done therapy in the past, but this current therapist I started seeing in like August, I want to say, like
with regression. Only 1 year in regression therapy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So August of last year.
So less than a year.
Yeah.
A little bit less than a year. And when you started doing that about a year ago, you were in a way worse state than you are now.
Yeah, I was
for
doing
sure
really horrible, to put it, you know, lightly. I was doing really bad. For a number of reasons. Like a lot of shit was happening in my life, but like I was also holding on to things too from my past. So, yeah, I had to work on a lot of things. But my therapist says that he rarely sees people for like longer than 6 months. So it's really just like a, you know, I help you heal some things and then you kind of learn how to do it.
Really?
On your
It's
own.
usually just 6 months?
Yeah, that's what he says. I mean, I was a little bit longer. I haven't been seeing this therapist hardly at all. Really.
Do you feel like he kind of put you through it? Like he's
like
giving
helped
you,
me?
Yeah, like giving you enough for you to go through life?
I think
essentially,
so. We kind
in
of
about a year?
Yeah, we've kind of talked about it too. He was kind of like, yeah, I feel comfortable, you know, moving on. Maybe we'll just work on a couple more things, which we did. And so, yeah, I'm kind of like moving on. I like to work with Julie, this other therapist. She does different kind of work.
She's a median and she
Wayne.
connects to the afterlife.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to get someone like that
Entities,
on the podcast
stuff
too.
like that. Oh,
Yeah, when you get a
amazing.
third microphone and get fucking like people that connect to the afterlife on here and people that know a bunch about psychology and shit like that.
Yeah, she could even tell you like there's probably people around you and she could be like, this person's telling you this, but she doesn't. She's like not supposed to because she's very close with God. And
is she a Mormon?
I don't know how
you don't know what
active
religious.
she is.
Oh, but she is one.
I want to say she's a member, but I don't know how active she is.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen her tattoos, but I've seen lots of members with tattoos. So
but you're not supposed to do that.
Sure. No.
If you have a tattoo and you're Mormon, you're probably not like really super into
either
it.
Inactive or went through a phase or something.
Went through a phase.
Yeah. Could be it, but
yeah, so
yeah, because I know Wayne is active, I think,
yeah,
but I'm not active.
No.
So we can all still have conversations. But yeah, I don't know how active Julie is in the church, but she's very close with God. She I mean, she has to be. She sees things. I mean, evil spirits, you know, reach out to her since she was a child. She said that she had seen things that freaked her out. I mean, she had to go on like Prozac because her anxiety was so bad because she was constantly hearing voices. So you kind of have no choice but to choose the good and have God always by you.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I saw like a spiritual girl, you know, works with like rocks and stuff and can read auras or whatever. And she told me I was fucked up. I was just going through a breakup and stuff, but she told me I was all fucked up and that she needed a lot of my money to, you know, get me up to par. It's like,
you need my help.
yeah. I think we did tarot cards. She told me that I'm going to live a long life. And so that's good, right?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to live a long time.
Yeah. Guess that's good if you like living.
Yeah, if you like it.
Right.
If you like it, yeah.
Yeah. I've seen the crystals. I have a couple, but I don't practice anything with them. I don't use them or anything, but I do there are a couple people I want to curse right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Like put curses on?
Yeah. Like maybe like an erectile dysfunction type thing.
Right.
So
why that?
They deserve
I guess it does suck.
They deserve it.
Okay.
In my opinion. It's kind of like that thing we were talking about, like my own form of justice, I guess.
Yeah, you got to take it upon yourself instead of leaving it up to God. Like,
instead of turning the other cheek, like.
Yeah, and maybe God'll deal with that.
Right.
It's like, no, I'm gonna deal with that.
No, I'd rather ask for forgiveness than like beg for justice for myself. So, but I'm a little bit scared because, you know, like I am kind of sensitive to spirits. So
you really are feeling like you do want to place a curse on somebody?
Yeah.
Like legitimately?
Yeah. The only thing holding me back is I'm afraid of like things, you know.
For sure. No,
yeah.
My mom was like a witch. My mom's side of the family goes back into a bunch of fucking witches, like some, like it's practicing some really serious shit, like, you know, chicken blood on the wall shit.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's really I mean, I wouldn't say really common, but it's common sort of in Panama, Colombia.
Like
that
the brujas.
Witches. Right. Yeah. It's, it happens a lot there and stuff. And I have a bunch in my family.
Yeah.
And, my mom, when we were like, she went through a divorce and stuff. We were like super fucking poor. Mm-hmm. She was working always. I was just like alone all day.
Yeah. And,
we were barely getting by. We'd broke a piggy bank to see if we had enough to get to work.
Man, that's
and stuff
hard.
like that. I'm wearing like the same clothes 3 times a week to school, getting made fun of, shit like that. Mm-hmm. So when she'd get boyfriends and stuff, she'd do black magic to like get money from them. Not necessarily get money from them, but like to attach them to her.
Okay.
Because they were helping her get through being alone.
Yeah.
Like, cause she couldn't really do it with a kid speaking broken English, working shit jobs, right?
Yeah, by herself.
So she did this one blood ritual. You have to, like, she poked herself. I think, she doesn't want me saying the shit that she's told me. Was it blood? It might have been a drop of her blood. I shouldn't even say this.
You're like, she's specifically.
Yeah, as I'm saying, I'm like, she just directly told me not to fucking tell anybody. And now I'm fucking saying it and putting it on the internet.
That's so funny.
I'll be real. It's a blood thing that I think you do on a certain moon, at least a certain day, and you put it in their drink, and they drink it, and they become obsessed with you.
Okay. Wow.
And
that's serious shit.
Serious shit. And this dude did become obsessed with her, and was like giving her money and paying her way through shit, so she had like a way to survive, essentially.
Yeah.
And she didn't want him around her anymore. Like, she was like done, and she didn't like want anything to do with him. Like, she wanted to go do other shit and stuff. And he became like, he lost his mind essentially, because she didn't want to be with him. Yeah, she sort of went crazy, and she like threatened to kill. He threatened to kill me. He's like, he was like, I'm gonna kill your son if you don't. Like, if you're really gonna do this to me, I'm gonna kill your son.
Oh my God.
So, my life was in danger. I didn't know. All right, she didn't tell me, but
I had no clue. But
I didn't know until a few years later. She's like, "Yo, like, this dude wanted to fucking kill you."
Oh my God.
But
that's crazy.
So we had to move, and I had like was doing well in school. Finally, just adjusting. A lot of good friends, and you know, like it was a good time. I liked all my teachers, and then boom, abruptly we had to get the fuck out of there. And then I went and I developed, I don't know if this is connected to it, but I like got really bad acne, cystic acne.
Oh, okay.
I lived in an apartment that I didn't fucking like. I wasn't friends with anybody in the other apartment. I was friends with, I had a few friends at the complex, and it was fun.
Yeah.
And then like shit just went dark. Like just in general, like my mom, I guess, and then where we were living was fucked up, and like I was having a bad time at school, not paying attention. I had really bad acne, and we were fucking super poor. Like it was just eat by myself.
Horrible. Yeah.
You know, and then maybe if someone feels nice, they'd like sit in front of me.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, shit just went dark.
Yeah. Wow. That's insane. I've seen like certain rituals to like break ties with people. Like you get the candles, the incense, and you wrap like strings around the candles. You're supposed to break ties or something. I don't know if that would work. But yeah, like
there's something there.
that's serious shit. Yeah.
It's not fake. Like maybe, I don't know, it depends on what you're doing and stuff, but there is something happening. Like there's a way to kind of connect or put your intentions in the world in a way, or through ceremony and having real strong results.
Yeah. I've wanted to check if somebody has put a hex on me. I wanted to see. I've kind of.
Do you really
got
think
that
that someone put a hex on you?
I don't know, but I've had the thought. There's been times like so many bad things have happened to me. I was like, this has to be a joke. Like I would literally say out loud, I'm like, is this a fucking joke? Like, is somebody laughing right now? Like, what's going on? But obviously nothing ever happens, but I have wanted to check to see. There's a way to like see if somebody has put a hex on you. But again, I'm afraid to dabble in that stuff. You have to really protect yourself, cast protection and shit like that. You never know what can happen.
Yeah, for sure. That stuff is, I don't know. You tread carefully there.
Yeah.
I've gotten into that shit, and it like affects my dreams, and maybe it's just like placebo. I'm doing it to myself, but it was like affecting my dreams, and I was like feeling like I was being visited by something, and it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And then there's this guy that would like teach rituals and stuff on YouTube. He would occur in my dreams in like a demonic, like fucked up form.
Oh my
and he was like
God.
haunting my dreams, and then I like stopped watching it because like this guy was like in my dreams, like haunting me.
Yeah.
And stuff. I don't know what the fuck, but
wow.
You know, and then I got out of the cult, I guess what you call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was never satanic or anything. It was just, it's been around for thousands and thousands of years.
Dark
like
magic.
Sigils and symbolisms and like different types of symbolism and connecting like intentions through fire, like putting your intentions like candle.
Yeah.
Like you're putting your intentions and your energy through the fire.
Yeah. I see.
And then if you do like, you connect it to some type of not astrology, what's the other word? Astronomy? Yeah. Because there's astrology, that's like the fucking signs and stuff, and there's astronomy, which is the actual stars and the patterns and stuff and the cycles. Basically, you connect to some astrology cycles, like if a planet is here at this point or at this time, the moon is going to be, you know what I mean? And then you create, it's fucking gnarly, but it's been around forever.
Yeah.
It predates all religions.
Right. I saw this video recently. There was a tweet on Twitter that was like something about some planet. You know, they're smart, but I'm not educated on that. So like some planet is in this orbit. So like don't cook over fire tonight. Something like that.
What?
Something like that. Like, you know, watch out for this or that having to do with fire. And it was the same, or like a day or two later was when the ocean caught on fire. Where was that? Like Mexico?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear about
something?
that.
Yeah, the ocean literally caught on fire. Something like that. But yeah, literally like 2 days after that tweet. I mean, you never know, there's correlation, but like I feel like the astronomy, stuff like that, astrology can definitely affect more than we think.
Yeah, it's constantly affecting stuff. I feel like for sure. I think cultures removed from thousands of miles and thousands of years develop like same type of systems of astronomy and astrology.
Yeah.
With no sharing any information. There's something there.
Right. But
something's happening.
Yeah.
And if you take into consideration the way the moon affects us, the way the sun affects us, there's no life without the sun. It's a star. That's just something in the sky.
Yeah.
But without it, we're dead.
Yeah.
There is no life. And then there's the moon affecting the ocean tides, and during full moons, we are 70% water. The earth is 70% water, so it's affecting us too directly.
Right.
Because our water is kind of like, you know what I mean?
Magnetic pole.
Yeah, magnetic poles and shit like that. So the murder rate spikes during full moons.
Damn.
These planets are having a direct effect on us.
That's crazy.
So, like over long periods of time of studying it and stuff, you can kind of start to gauge out the effects and what these things are doing to us.
Yeah.
And then there's the astrology thing that when you were put into this earth, like the state of the sky affected your psychology and affected what you're going to be.
Right. Like zodiac sign.
Zodiac. That's essentially what is the zodiac is. You're born, and whatever state the sky is in affects who you are and what you're going to be.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit of truth. There's some characteristics similar amongst, the same signs, but like it's not going to change who you are as a person or what you're meant to be. But I think there's something.
Yeah. I'm a fucking Capricorn across like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're really broad terms and stuff, but I don't fit the description of, say, like a Gemini. Really.
Yeah.
I couldn't be like, if I was born as I am as a Gemini, it's completely off.
Yeah.
But as a Capricorn, I'm every fucking characteristic across the board, all of them.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm a Pisces sun and a Gemini moon, I want to say. So I do have Gemini.
I'm a Capricorn sun, Gemini moon. We have the same moon.
Yeah.
Wonder what significance that has. There's probably people watching this, gonna watch this shit and be like, these people are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're comparing our moons.
I know.
Like where the moon was when we were born. I don't know.
Yeah.
It means we're creative, I guess. That's what it says. We're communicative, creative. That's what that means. Like 21, I read a bunch of books on this shit. Like 21, 22, I had like some type of crisis and read books on astrology and shit. Yeah. What do you know what your rising is?
No, I checked, but I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot. It was a website that told me like all of them.
Right. You put in when you were born, the time you were born and shit.
Yeah. I just remembered the Pisces and Gemini.
Yeah.
Those are the main ones.
That's weird. We have the same moon.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and then my boyfriend is a Gemini and then Pisces moon.
Pisces
so we're
moon.
literally opposites. Or like flip-flop. I'm like, that's probably why we clash.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
And stuff. Do you?
Because I have the traits that you hate about yourself and you have the traits that I hate about myself.
Yeah. Gemini moon is more of an emotionless, but you're very emotional. But you're a Pisces. You're still a Pisces, yeah. Because being a Capricorn, which is like an emotionless sign, that just is about kind of getting money and just rigid in their ways and unsympathetic. So Saturn represents Capricorn. Sat is the root of Satan. Same root word.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah. And then Satan is kind of connected to Saturn. Saturn is Capricorn. So I'm have a connection to Satan, which is cool, right? That's edgy.
Right.
But it's this extremely rigid kind of sign that, is not spontaneous.
Right.
Just works a lot.
Yeah.
Is an open.
Just very straight to the point, but
and then Gemini is also kind of emotionless. A Gemini moon is pretty disassociative.
Yeah.
You just disassociate from stuff and you're just removed and stuff. So Capricorn and then Gemini, like I'm just fucking
Just existing.
Just existing. Yeah.
Get shit done.
Yeah, get shit done. Have
Yeah.
try to have deep thoughts about stuff and just
Yeah.
like whatever,
Yeah.
be bad at having relationships. Like romantic relationships.
Right.
I'm fucking so bad at that shit.
I am too, but for the completely opposite reason. I'm an empath.
So it's just too emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much. Too sensitive, too attached, too everything. Too much.
Yeah.
Overbearing.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I'm like completely removed and I don't give anything to it.
Yeah, show no emotion.
No, and I'm like got a bunch of shit that I do that involves me at being by myself that I don't know. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
It hasn't worked thus far.
Up till this point.
Up until this point, I mean, shit, I'm bad.
Yeah. History has shown.
100% failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, everyone has their baggage, but some people are
Worse than others.
Yeah, I think of like Ross from Friends or like Ted from How I Met Your Mother. They're like romantic. They love being in relationships, stuff like that. But like Barney from How I Met Your Mother or Joey from Friends, like there's like they're to hook up with girls.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah, they have commitment issues, and then they're probably too clingy, too much, too attached, too emotional. So everyone has their shit.
And at every point in any relationship, no matter how compatible you are, shit's gonna get bad.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna like the fucking person.
Right.
And you have to have some type of commitment to just go through like the extremely shitty moments because
Get through it.
they're gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless of how happy you guys are.
Yeah, how
it's always-
compatible you are, and even
Yeah.
have love at first sight. I've heard stories of like this girl, two different stories where this girl kisses a guy and she's like, "This is my last first kiss. Like this is it."
This
And
is
then
the
he
one.
feels the same way. They get married. 3 years later, they fucking hate each other. They get a divorce. So it's like you have this magical, you could almost say spiritual moment. That's probably how they
Yeah.
describe it.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning,
Right.
there's some spiritual connection, but 3 years later, they fucking hate each other and they can't even look at each other.
Yeah.
They're not even sexually attracted to each other anymore. Like one's
Yeah.
gained a bunch of weight and their shit's just fucked up.
Yeah. Literally.
And they just decide to not be with each other anymore. And then another
Yeah.
experience was this drug lord. Oh fuck, Johnny Depp did a movie based off his stories called Blow. What the fuck was his name? Boston George was a cocaine drug lord, and he met at his height. He's rich and going to these affluent parties and stuff, and sees this Latina girl, and she sees him, and the way he described it was just like love at first sight, just extremely strong connection and bond, and she felt it too. And they were just inseparable. Like at first sight, it was
Yeah.
just everything for both of them.
Yeah.
And then fast forward 4 years later, she's fucking screaming at him and fucking kicking him in the chest in the car as they're on the fucking highway, and he fucking threatens to kill both of them
Yeah.
by just crashing the car, and then lets her out, and then she calls the cops on him, and he's got a bunch of drugs on him and puts him away, and
Oh
then
my God.
and they have a fucking terrible divorce, and
Their
she
life
gets
just
most of the
falls
shit.
apart.
Yeah, and in the worst way.
Right.
But in the very beginning, there was this extreme connection
Yeah.
and love at first sight.
That
you
is
know?
so sad.
So
That's so depressing.
basically, yeah, what I'm telling you is be hopeless.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no hope.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
seriously though. I mean, sometimes like when me and my boyfriend have almost broken up, I mean, shit gets hard, but like it breaks my heart. I'm like, this is the person, because I'm an empath too, so I'm so sensitive, and I think about like, this is my best friend, and child me comes out too, and it's really sad.
Yeah.
It's horrible seeing shit like that happen. I mean, you go from like, yeah, being in love, and maybe that's why
This person's
shit-
your everything. This person's fucking holy to you.
Yeah,
and then
literally.
it just becomes this shit. And a lot of times, if you get a divorce and stuff, you actually go to war with the person, and you go through litigation,
and you're against that.
and then now your relationship is completely irreversibly fucked.
Yeah.
It's just done, especially when you get the contract involved and marriage. And if you have that love at first sight, you probably do get married, and then now you're contractually connected to the government, and then you're just fucked.
Right.
If shit goes bad, you can't just walk away. Like you're gonna go to war with each other.
Right, and it's gonna be
before a guy in a robe with a hammer, and it's just gonna be fucking ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this girl who just she got married so fast, and then in the temple marriage, and then a Mormon temple, and then she posted on her Finsta 3 months later that she's pregnant, so probably honeymoon baby. Her and the man are already divorced.
Yeah.
In 2 months.
Yeah, you gotta know the person. I mean, that's advice to the kids. We gotta wrap this up right now because it's the end of this segment. But
don't get married.
Hey kids, know the person. When you're with somebody, know them before signing a fucking lifelong contract.
Know their zodiac sign.
Yeah. Know what their moon is, and just know them in general is probably good advice if you're going to decide to contractually connect yourself to the government and be with someone the rest of your life.
Right. Especially in the temple too.
Yeah. Just know them, you know?
Right.
All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Peace.